Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. All right, all right. You guys got the noties today. You guys got the notifications today. That's cool. Yeah, yeah. I made it back in town, so yeah. Figure I'd talk a little bit today. Yeah. Look at Miss Boxing up in there. Yeah, yeah. She said peace and blessings at the Eagle Webs Boxing in the chat. E Woods, yes sir. Yeah, 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 yeah. A lot of stuff. Yeah. You know how we do it though. We do it a little bit different, but we still do it though. Yeah, we still do it. We do it different, but hey, everybody got their own little. Everybody got their own style. Don't knock nobody's style. Don't knock nobody's flavor. Hey, that's your flavor. That's your flavor. That's how you do it. Yeah, 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 yeah. Eagles wear. Yeah, I got web watchers, so we do it different in here. We watch the web. Make sure the web is cool. Don't make us have to wrap nobody up. I got stuff for that though. I got. Believe me, you guys, you'll laugh once you see it, but once we have to start using stuff like that, you'll get it. You'll get your notification on what happened. How we had to wrap them up. Yeah, a lot of stuff out there though. Boxing talk is always out there. Yeah, we always got like a lot of boxing talk. I feel happy to be back in my area, but of course I'm, I still got my, how you feel when you leave family. You got your heart get a little bit broken when you leave your family and stuff. And make sure you say everything you need to say when you're with your people. Um, I just hope I got everything out, that I needed to say. Because all of we don't know each other's name a lot of times. I mean, as far as like real names, we know each other's native names. Well, that's our real name, but some native names are just not. They're not registered names, but they're just family names. Mine's is registered, but um, some people have names and they're not. Um, it might not be registered and stuff. And then of course we call each other just like most native and um, brown skinned people. Um, we have certain ways we call each other. And if you listen to the language, you will figure out that that we're all family somehow. You'll figure it out. Some people take it. Some people are slow, so they don't figure it out. Say, hey, wait a minute, they got the same kind of nicknames that we got, but it's just in a different language. Yeah, we call each other like we got nicknames. We call each other certain stuff. It's always reflects off of the um, like the things on the earth, or animals on the earth, or either something that's really, like I've heard like people call straw man and stuff like that means you're skinny. Spanish they say might call you placo, um, call you sticks or something like that. And then we got we just got all different names. Red. And so it's just interesting how we use certain stuff like in African Americans they use a lot of words with red when they talk to each other. Like they'll even call each other red, like red and stuff like that. Now why are you calling each other red? Which is in other languages like in Hebrew that's is Rudy or ruddy. It comes from that's an earth color. Um, and it's kind of ironic that they call us red, and we're not really red, but we do have some reddish and to the brown in our color. It makes us more of a copper color, and a lot of other people have that same color. But we're not gonna get into because I don't really talk about it scientifically, as you guys already know me. We're not gonna talk about it scientifically. We'll talk about it a whole different way, not scientifically though, because I'm the last one in science. All right. So E Wood, yeah, you watched the other stuff on the other channel. Yeah, I got some clear. I finally got some clear videos. Like I told you guys before that all my electronic out there in the desert, all my electronic devices decided to quit on me. Everything quit, and so my third device, I couldn't get anything off the third device. I had some pictures. And I was gonna put those up there, but I said no, I'm not gonna just put like a couple of little snapshots because it wasn't too relevant to anything. So yeah, I didn't put them up there. Yeah. I guess I'll start with Loma. I guess it's his mouth, right? From what I'm hearing, that is actually his mouth that's running. Yeah. It's his mouth is the one that's running. I guess all the pressure got to him because remember he was always being like he tried. Remember the humbleness at first that he knew he was good, but he was being humble. He's being the way you should be. He was being nice and humble, you know. And I'm not a humble person to be labeled as humble, but I'm actually humble, but I'm not humble to be not label me as a humble person, but I'm not one of those. I'm not a throw it in your face type person. Like, see, I told you not. I'm not gonna do it that way. You know. Sometimes I can be sarcastic with certain stuff though. I'll be like, I got you. I'll get you. I'm gonna make you feel bad. Yeah, we gonna get to it, Ewood. Yeah. Oh yeah. I'll see you, Shadow 9. Yeah. Yeah. Shadow 9. He said, salute. Thought you weren't going live today. Glad to see you. You found some time. Yeah. I was rushing though. I mean, as soon as I got in here, I just plopped down, poop, and just I cut the computer on, and I said we're going live. I said I had things that I said like I need to talk about things. I said let's get on there. I said I got people that mess with me, and they're like, well, Eagles Web it's not gonna be on for a few days. I don't know how we gonna deal with that, or how I mean we getting used to seeing him at a certain time. So let's get in there. Let's get it done. Hit those thumbs up. Hit that subscribe if you like anything I say. And hit that notification button. Yeah, we have fun in here. But the humble part is always good. It's always good to eat your humble pie and just I see my little brother up here, PFTV. Yeah, everybody got my noti, I guess, but yeah, I wasn't gonna be on. Yeah. I've been rushing. I was out of town. I'm like, I just got back over here. You guys know I ran all weekend. You know what I mean? I was running all weekend. I was out there with the native family, out there in the heat. So yeah, I made it through that. 20 pounds later, that heat. Believe me, that heat takes some pounds off you. When you're out there moving in the heat, it's very dangerous out there. A lot of people don't know. I mean, as soon as you wake up, you got to already drink 3 pints of water. As soon as you wake up. You're already drinking 3 pints of water. That's just off top. That's whether you want it or not. You're gonna do that just to survive. You're gonna wake up and drink. Yeah, but this idiot that I don't like him in the first place, and he's gonna get knocked out sooner or later. He will be knocked out because we're gonna cover the keys today. Now this is only opinionated by me though. So we're gonna cover those keys. I know I had to come on late today, but yeah, we're gonna cover these keys of what it takes to be known. What does it take to be the all time or the greatest of all time or the greatest boxer? Just any of those conversations, we got to see what it takes. And we'll just start off with certain things. First of all, it takes personality. So personality, you get an X on that just for running your mouth because you should have stayed humble. So already he gets an X on that one. Just for overall, you're already getting an X. You're starting off wrong. So you let everybody else say it. And yes, you were already the type that just, you were already proclaiming this all the time. And we just got accustomed to hearing you. And we said, okay, you right. You might be right. And then what we got to look at, now none of this stuff by any means is in order or anything like that. But we got to look at the opposition. Did you really beat the best you could have beat? Did you? Did you beat the best that you could have? I mean, there was no way that you could, move up a couple of pounds or move down a couple of pounds. There's nothing you could do to solidify an argument in your favor. You see, that you have to do something that's going to solidify the argument in your favor before you start opening your mouth yourself, before you start making up these narratives for yourself, or you start adding to these narratives for yourself. Could I have fought anybody else? So, and then the type of people that I fight. So you have to have this is, like I said, this is my idea, that you have to have a variety of people that you beat to be great. If you got to think about it, because basic styles is a 50-50 fight. That's the only 50-50 fight you should ever have. It's just one basic style against another basic style would equal everything. The only thing that's going to get them over is that's going to change it from 50-50. The only thing that's going to change that is I have the idea that I really want to fight. I'm going to warrior up and I'm going to get this and I'm going to fight my heart out. And I got the killer instinct. That's the only thing that changes a 50-50 of any fight, if you want to put a percentage on the fight. And that's based on even skills. I'm talking about everything, footwork, defense, everything else. That's based on that. But it's like, who did you fight that was like that could take like a lot of punishment? Bro, yeah, you're right. I mean, yeah, I told you I was going to get to that. Yeah, he's not going to, and that's what I was just saying. Can you, at your height, can you move up? I believe what was Aaron Pryor? Aaron Pryor was what? He's about the same height, right? He might have been a little bit taller than Lomo, right? But not very much. But then nobody really wanted to fight him because he was, I mean, even like skill-wise, he wasn't the best defensively, but he let those hands go. I mean, I used to see him, I used to watch him, he'd get knocked down, he'd be still throwing punches. I'm like, God dang, dude, what's wrong with you? You got to be crazy. You still throwing punches? You got knocked down, and you get up, you already throwing, like, he wouldn't stop throwing punches. It's like that was like something that was setting him. Like, I'm throwing these. You see? Did you fight somebody even similar to that? Yeah. Salute Jay Brown. I see you. Yeah. I know you always come through. Always come through. My people that come through, the people that mess with me always come through. I'm just happy to see my little brother come through a few times in a row. Yeah. But so that opposition makes a big difference. That opposition makes a big difference. Can I fight a boxer? Have I fought? How many boxers have I fought? And we already know what his record's like. And let's not get this misconstrued, because I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear no arguments, because we're talking professional boxing here, folks. We're not talking about amateur. We're talking about professional boxing. So I don't care, no 396 or whatever it is, amateur bouts. I don't want to hear it. Because that's for an amateur conversation. It's like, yeah, you're going to be a Hall of Fame amateur fighter. Yeah, that's different. That's a whole different Hall of Fame, that's a whole different ball game. But now we're talking about professional. Right? Did you fight the best boxer that you could have fought? Somebody who's real slippery and slick and, fast and can move. You know what I mean? Now, you might have fought one, but how many did you fight? Did you fight a bunch of them? And to be honest now, like a lot of people, we know that Canelo is like the catch weight king, right? He's the catch weight king. But see, what you're bypassing and what you're not paying attention to is Lomo's more or less a catch weight. He's a catch weight king too, if you think about it. But here's the thing, that he is not the one that's making the catch weight. See? Or some of the fighters, too many of the fighters, if you think about it, I'm not fighting that many people. I haven't had that many fights. But some of them have moved up. Like, we already know what happened. We know Regal moved up a couple of weight classes, right? Real weight classes, not like they say Mikey did. Because Mikey had fought at 140. And plus, Mikey's own mouth got him in trouble anyway. Because Earl didn't want nothing to do with him. See? And that another guy that he fought was another guy that did, fought like what? One time in 2 years? something like that. You guys know me when it comes to getting the information. It's just too easy for you guys to go ahead and get the exact information because I don't do numbers. I don't do numbers that much. I will do breakdowns like that, but I let my little brother rest them. They do all the numbers and stuff. I like to talk specifics on the boxing about what it takes to get something. I mean, like a Tank fight. Even if people saying Tank's scared and they're not getting that fight done, he need to fight somebody like that. You got to fight different styles, man. You got to get somebody who's a hard puncher, who can take a lot, and you still get him out. You got that, you know what I mean? Because if you ask me, for what Pedraza did, I mean, and then this ain't no triangle theory, nothing like that. For what Pedraza did when he fought Tank versus what he did when he fought Loma, it's kind of showing a little bit of some flaws in there. You know what I mean? He shouldn't have been that successful if you're a matrix and you're that much more superior than all the other fighters. You gotta kind of go by me with that. Just how good you are. But we're talking about greats though. What makes you a great? You got things like handling yourself in and outside the ring. What is your popularity? Like I said, these not gonna be in order though. What's your popularity like outside the ring with the people? Are you doing anything specifically for any people, your people or anybody else's people, that people can actually see? Because you're in a profession. When you're great in the profession, it's not just that specific. You're not just in a box. Because you automatically have people just invited with you. You understand? Salute, Miss Boxing. I think I said salute to you. He was spoon-fed the day he stepped on the professional scene. I gave him no credit for his amateur. There you go. For his amateur career, yeah, you get 0. No, you don't come in getting no credit for that. You come in getting 0 credit. You don't get no credit for that. You can forget that. Right, and she's right on point with that. That you don't come in just getting no credit like that. Like I'm saying, you don't with professions. You can't come in a box if you have a profession. You understand? And the reason you can't have a box is because you have us. You understand? Because we're more or less like we're part of that. Because I can say it like this: we're your money. We bring the money to you. And if you're going to be the king and we bringing money to you, then how are you serving us? If we're bringing the money to you, how are you serving us? Are you really being honorable? Are you fighting who you should fight? Or are you just saying a bunch of stuff? Right? Are you just running your mouth? Because we got a lot of fighters that pretend that didn't they proclaim to be king? Wasn't Keith Thurman proclaiming to be the welterweight king? Wasn't he proclaiming that? But will we ever accept him as king? Because let's think about it. What could he do to become king now? Somebody give me some thoughts on that. Or just think, I mean, you don't even have to write that down, but just think about it yourself. What can he do? Yep. Miss Boxing already back in there. She's venting right now. She said he lost the second professional fight and still got a pass, right? And so back to Keith though. What can he do in order for us to accept him as king? See, we got King Wilder, right? But who else can we accept as king right now? In the welterweight, who's king? I mean, I know who I got as king in the welterweights right now, and that's EJ. But how could somebody like Keith Thurman, how could he become king? See? How could Keith become king to us? To you personally, how could Keith become king again? And see, now they see, as I say that to you, and now you start to open up your eyes a little bit more. Some of you are already speaking on it. I haven't even got to all of them right now, but some of you are already speaking on it. As I speak, you're already speaking on it. You say, oh, wait a minute now. And when I see the word PASS, if somebody's saying pass on something, nobody wants, if somebody gets a pass on stuff, all that does is make everybody else angry. The only passes that I accept is if you was about to get a huge fine from the police for doing something, and you got a pass. I'm gonna be happy for you. Oh man, I'm glad he gave you that pass so you can get through. But see, now Keith would have to do a lot of stuff, right? He had to clear up his whole public image, wouldn't he? He had to clear up his whole public image with the fans all over again, because, like I said, his mouth has already been running. So Keith already put X's up against himself. Then he goes out and gets married. He gets elective surgery that he didn't have to have. I'm talking from experience. I have bone spurs too. So elective surgery, running your mouth, talking about what you're going to do, and then you mess around and get beat up when you should have been fighting somebody else. So just think about that one. What does it take to make him a king again? A king. You could say he's in the kingdom somehow, but you just make him a king. And then we'll put another one there. Even King Kong. Is he closer to being the king than Keith Thurman? And what about White? What could he do to ever be king? Or can he ever be king? Or did he just blow all his opportunities? And then Crawford. What could Crawford do to be king? You see? The greatest. So we're talking about greats now. Greatest. And I still haven't even covered all that about this little punk. Because that little fag is going to get knocked out, and I can't wait. It's just like things are just not working out the way that I need them to work out for the exposures. I mean, I talked, I don't know, 7 months ago, 8 months ago, whatever. I was writing in chats and stuff. I was saying that how this AJ was a fraud, and I said I just can't wait until somebody get those, the proper person get them hands on them, so everybody else can see the same fraudulent person that I'm seeing. And then it finally happened. Yep, Miss Boxing, yeah, she's on that pass thing that because Loma's European, he would say athletic. They say it's never been seen before, and he says knock it off. Yeah, knock that shit off. Because you guys, because they frustrating the hell out of us with all this talk, and this is the worst thing to throw up in a fan's face. It's the worst thing to throw up in a fan's face when you're trying to force feed us somebody that we know good and damn well don't deserve it, and that's what you're doing. You're gonna force feed them to us. It's like eating that knockoff brand cereal when you little. Well, if you grew up like I did, no money. And you eating that knockoff cereal that you don't really want, but you got to eat that whole bowl. You're like, man, I don't want to eat this. You're talking about everybody else got the real, I want the real frosted cereal, Frosted Flakes cereal. Well, I got to eat this one. Why they shaped like that? You ask all the questions about why it's shaped like this, why it's like this. Biz Boxing back in. Let me catch up with you guys. Keith could never become. Oh wow, Miss Boxing. I can always respect her. She be going off. She said Keith can never become king. He doesn't love the sport anymore. Okay, that's a good point, and I respect your point. Yep. And I'm seeing that too. He would say Thurman needs to rematch Pac. What is that gonna? But is that going to really boost him up? Because you agree, you agree in your next statement, you agreeing with Ms. Boxing, you're saying exactly. So I'm just saying, is that really, we're talking about king status, we're talking about great status. Because right now, if you think about what our conversation is right now, so if I'm just asking questions and we're narrowing it down to like who can be king and who can't be king, and they got this little shit as a king, then it's just showing you. You see what I mean? Everybody got their points right now. It's like Miss Boxing talks. She said, what? His second fight was a loss. Kings don't lose right away like that. Yes, if a king loses right away is what I'm saying. If a king loses right away, how many fights does he need in the fight game? How many fights does he need before he could become king again? Or before he can get back in the conversation for being king? He can't lose one and then win 10 straight and that's it. No, that's not enough. Because then at the same time, we got to look at opposition now. I'm gonna throw you nothing but bums or people that they halfway good and that. But yeah, you could be king by beating them. No, you're a fraudulent king. You're a fraudulent king. You ain't a real king. You're a fraudulent king. Yep. Okay, Shadow 9 is he talking to E Wood about something. Miss Boxing back in there again. See, he has to KO Spence. No other way for Keith to become king. That's a good one. I appreciate that one. That's a good one. That's a good one. I might not go as high as Spence, but he needs an impressive KO over somebody that's in the top 4, like impressive. And that's just to get him back in king conversation. Because right now he's not even in king conversation. He more like in what they call that thing, the jester. He more in jester conversation right now. Right now he more in jester conversation right now. Yep. Yep. Joseph Brown laughed. He said, "Damn it." Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, you know how I put it out there though, man. You know better than that, man. You know how I'm gonna put it out there. One thing I'm not gonna do with no fighters. I don't care how much I like them. And I know people are starting to follow my words even on Wilder. They starting to follow what I was saying. Because you can't, you are king. If you the king, then guess what? If you the king, you the ruler, you above all of us, then guess what? Then you got to show us that you all above us all the time. There's no slips up. There's no slips up. Oh no, there's no slips up. You know what I mean? When you're supposed to go out there and get the job done, then you go out there and you get the damn job done. And we know that narrative that I read out there. Who's everybody talking about you talking about the Pamper? Yeah, Pamper Bob. That I know KQKC calls him Pamper Bob. Yeah. Yeah, but you got to read when you see stuff like that. When you see him in East Snake, because you guys can't write that word in here. You try to write it and see if you're successful. You can't write it in here. So East Snake and Pamper Bob are just that. They both of them are snakes. Both of those are forked tongues. So you gotta always watch them and pay attention. If they have a story and they praising it and they sticking with it, it's a damn lie. Because like they got us all over the place as it is. If you got here early, you see my little train I had out there. Yeah, they got us on that train. Yep, they got us on that damn train and just running us like nothing. Running us all over the place. But I like what Miz is talking about when she put it. Yeah, he got to do something. And see, and this is what we need to do. I'm gonna do it myself. I don't care if nobody do it or not. We are dealing with professional fighters that box. They're professional, and we see that little fag is getting the pass. I'm gonna call him a fag. I don't care. He's still a little fag to me. Because I'll backhand him anyway. Little as small as he is, are you kidding me? He'll get slapped all over the place. I wouldn't even throw punches at him. I just slap him all over the place. This little dude here. It's like, are you serious? And that's the one you're gonna try to force feed us him as king. Let's look at this. Let's look at these pictures though. So in history itself, now we're talking boxing though, but in history itself, how many times have we been force fed certain champs? See, they always force feeding us something. But see, they always force fed this one. See, and then now all of a sudden, this one wants to speak up. Well, maybe I am great. No, I'm not great. Terrence is great, and other people are great, and this and that. No, don't call me like that. No, well, you didn't even wait 3 years. You didn't even wait a couple of years before now all of a sudden, now you believe in the hype yourself. Now you falling right into the story. Now you're going to be force fed to us? I don't think so. Not me. I know at least a couple of people in here that he's not going to be force fed to. Miss Boxing ain't going for it. I'm not going for it. And just like Keith, you're not going to throw, just like Keith. If you want to get back in king status, you got to go up there and do some king stuff. And that's the whole thing. They got to do king stuff. Lomo ain't doing no king stuff. He ain't fighting nobody this in a king status. Because first of all, if you're going to be king, you got to fight somebody who could have been king too. Right? Is that a right, as far as a analogy, is that a good one? That if you're going to be king, you got to fight somebody who was at king status too. Right? Don't you got lions in the wild that fight for king status? When they fight for king status, are they fighting just some fag over there? Are they fighting a little gay lion? Or are they fighting a lion that he got his women and everything else? See? Same thing with a big bull elephant, which is the real king of beasts on land. I mean, when he go crazy and he start tearing stuff up, when he show you that he is the big dog, then he is the big dog. When he start taking them tusks and plowing through the ground, when you see him plowing over trees with his tusks, then you say, okay, that's the big boy. That's he's in charge. Ain't nobody showing that. Let me get back in here a little bit. See, we going up. Okay, we got we got Shadow 9. Okay, talking to E Wood. All right. So I'll leave you guys' conversation alone. Miss Boxer back in there. She said, Danny Garcia can beat Keith Thurman. The Danny and Sean that Keith beat are much better now than then. Yep. Because he set himself back. He set himself back now. I don't have much confidence in Keith today. I don't think he has the confidence either. Wow. She's speaking, that's real talk. She said that she don't believe that he don't have confidence. And see, that's what I'm saying. That's our story right now, is that these fighters, now you're going to be a king, but you don't have confidence. Okay, so now that kind of gave this boy, it doesn't give him a pass, but just for her saying that, it gives him some points. Just because she said that. And the reason I'm saying that is because the word that she used was confident. Okay, so we could take that with a grain of salt. We don't have to say, well, he was confident. But we can, because it is showing that I'm confident. We can do this. You see what I mean? I'm confident. Yeah. I know I'm the king now. Yeah, but is that confidence, or is that just false? Because confidence could be false too. Is that false confidence because you feeling yourself and they've been feeding you, and now finally you're gonna come back and say it yourself? See, got his head getting up there. Now he gonna come back and say it himself. I guess I am king. You ain't king until somebody slap you around. Because you haven't fought the roughest fights that you can fight. Yeah, you on those angles, you on that front foot, and you on those angles and stuff like that. You ain't got your defense is not savvy. You're not that good. You're not great in defense, and you done been down before. I don't know how much punishment you could really take. Because ain't nobody's turning to the side, or nobody's catching you when you try to get around them. Nobody's catching you with a hook or something like that. Nobody's spinning real quick and just firing off on you. What you got to do, you got to be able to land. You got to be able to land a couple of shots on him, 3 or 4 shots on him. Yeah, when you get used to throwing 3 or 4 shots and hitting him with them, that's gonna slow him down. You can't fight him getting one, maybe 2 shots off. You gotta get some shots off on him. But like I said, I'll race him. He ain't on no king status for me. He's not on king status. And I gave you guys a few names of who you think who's a king. Okay, Crawford was at 140, right? He beat all the so-called kings. But we covered that already. He fought 2 of them one was extra chinny. One had a peanut brittle chin. The other one just had like a plain brittle chin. Cracker chin. He had a chin like a cracker. This is out of the last 4 fights. One was crippled. Right? So you got 2 of them with saltine cracker chin disease. One was crippled, right? And one was just a brawler. A brawler with gloves on. There wasn't as good a brawler as some of the other ones are. See? So to put him in king status, then he got to do king things too. Now, I'm not sitting here pulling my pants down, taking the crap on people, but I'm bringing something different to the table to make you think. Because you have to think about this. When you think about putting them all up there, and then a lot of times we get too happy because we saw a win. And then members like, who he beat? It's like, yeah, that is true. Who did he beat? He won the fight. He looked good in some of the fights, but let's just go back. Who did he beat? Who did you beat? And I'm not talking about the records, because there's some fighters out there that don't have very good records, but people don't want to fight them. They probably been cheated. And the main person that I bring up with that is Emmanuel Augustus. I always bring him up. A lot of people didn't like that style, but that was a nice style. That style, changing feet on you and stuff like that, and just keeping you off balance and all that. Right? He brought something new to the table. Just like Deontay Wilder brings something new to the table. And if you're going to have a king, you want a king that's going to bring something new. So what is our king bringing? Our king bringing the same old bread over here. See? But then we're talking this elitist status. Elite. I'm elite. I'm a great. I'm a great now. Okay, well, you got to convince us that you're great. Crawford, you got to go out there and fight somebody. I'm not even hearing nothing about you fighting. All I'm hearing is Top Rank, PBC. I'm just hearing noise. To me, none of that stuff mean nothing. You know what means something to me? What means something to me is when somebody go sign a contract. That's what means something to me. When you go sign a contract, then that means something. Now you showing me something. You showing me something because now you got a contract signed, and who you signed to fight. Let's take it up a level. Let's take it up to a higher weight division right now. Let's take it up. We'll come back down, but let's take it back up again. Let's take it up. Tyson Fury. Now, there's a lot of people talking about great and stuff, but think about it. What can he do to become king? I hear a lot about his boxing skills and all that. And I did skip over our king. But don't worry, I'll get back to our king too. It's just like I said, because I'm not gonna take this to a level to where I'm going like in order, because it's just like it's off the top of the dome where I got to think. It's like, okay, well, if it comes to me during my conversation, that's how it comes to me. But I don't want to forget that. I got to get back to him. I got to get back to the letdown when it comes to him too, though. But Tyson Fury, who did he just fight? He fought somebody that looks like an amateur could beat. See? It's like, well, but you the greatest. You the greatest heavyweight. And then you say, well, Deontay Wilder is the second greatest, but you're the greatest heavyweight right now. Man, get out of here with that. Get out of here with it. You know your head is full of coke. Your head is full of something. If you think you all that, you so great now. See, we got all these so-called people out here, all these fighters out here, they buffoons. The fighters, see, everybody, they talk about the Pamper Bob, you talk about the E-Snake. But guess what? These fighters seem to be on code with them. Think about it. A lot of these fighters seem to be on code with them. That they tricksters too. I'm sorry, Keith. You tricked a lot of people. You a trickster too. And how can a trickster turn over a new leaf and become king again? Miss Boxing said it. You gotta show us that you can just come back, put Earl to sleep. Is that something that's gonna happen though? I don't think that's something that's gonna happen. Yep. All right, let me go through. Okay, you guys are having your conversation. Let me see. Joseph, okay, I already read. Joseph Brown already crying. Joseph Brown cried today. Shadow 979. Okay, he had Joseph Brown. Joseph Brown back. Shadow 9. Okay, Joseph Brown. Okay, Emmanuel Augustus, the drunken master, was embarrassing dudes. Gave Floyd fits in the ring. Yep. And Floyd is supposed to be the greatest of all time. Now, think about some of the greatest, the ones that we know is the greatest of all times. Did somebody like that ever embarrass him? They ever get embarrassed by somebody with that kind of a record? No. It's because records don't mean everything in order for you to be a king. Emmanuel Augustus, well, in his own right, he was a little king. In his own right, he was a little king. Because he did bring the frustration and stuff. He did bring a new flavor to the boxing. Yep. He brought a new flavor to the boxing. You know, and gave people a different, that's a whole different perspective on boxing right there itself. That's a whole different perspective. When you get to watch somebody do the stuff that he do, but now they getting all excited about Loma. Oh, he throw hands and this and that and blah blah. No, I need to see you fight though. I need to fight. You're not convincing me, else believe me. Let me go shopping for some fighters. Let me shop for 3 fighters. Just let me just shop around. Let me just have free reign to shop around as somebody within 10 pounds of your weight and put you in there with them, knowing that you can make the weight, that you can move up 5-10 pounds. Let me find somebody that you can fight. That wasn't like at 108 or something, or 112 and you beat up on them or something. Let me find somebody. I'm going to find somebody with a chin that can punch and can just move. They don't even have to be the best on defense. As long as they got a good back foot and can turn and can pivot real good and quick reflexes, let me put them in with you. And see if you still be bragging about how great you are. You're going to get that ass whooped. Yeah, Fury, Miss Boxing, she back in there. She said Fury is the king of low risk, high reward. His O is his baby, and he's going to try to keep it as long as he can. You're right. He's going to try to keep it as long as he can. Yep. She right about that too. That's all he's doing, and he's doing a whole lot of pretending right in front of people too. Acting like, oh, he's getting these wins because he want Deontay Wilder so bad. None of the greats act like that. The greats ask for all the smoke. Loma, did you forget that? Did the greats ask for smoke? Matter of fact, we even had a great that I covered, a week or 2 ago that I covered. His name was Smoke. His name was Smoking. That was his name. He brought smoke. Whether he had a good matchup with him or not, he brought the smoke. That's the king. I got to show my people I can do this, not just me. That's a king. Right? Are you calling out any possibilities of fighters to this show? Because you're proclaiming now. Now I'm going to proclaim myself being king now. And we already seen what Keefe did. Oh, fraudulent Nun Time. Nun Time went out there and just perpetrated a straight fraud on everybody. Said, really? You mean you let somebody bull rush you and knock your game plan out of you? If you would have seen how he came at you, you would have known why you went down. You wasn't even hurt. Like I said, wasn't nothing unplugged when he went down. Wasn't his nervous system, nothing was unplugged when he went down. Manny went low, stepped into him, and then went high. His feet went parallel for a split second, just enough. And Manny's done that a lot when he charges through you like that. That's how he gets some of his knockdowns. He know he's not really winning, but you see he don't go crazy after if he gets a knockdown where he knows he's not hurt, he doesn't go crazy. He just still boxes you. Whereas if there's a fighter that know he hurt you, they're gonna go crazy. They're gonna try to get you out of there. See? So he's very smart. He's very smart. He wasn't say, I never thought Keith was the king of 147. Yeah, but he's putting himself as king. Yeah, he's putting himself as king. He's trying to make himself king. Oh, I'm king. See what I'm saying? All these fighters, they started to piss me off with this, oh, I'm the king now. You're not the king now. Let us claim, let your subjects or whatever, we your bankroll, let us decide if you're the king. See, I won't pay for Lomo's fights. I won't pay for Fury's fight. And yes, he's fighting the king. If he's fighting the king, then I'll pay for the king. But I'm sorry, I don't support. I'm not like some people that support all boxing. I'm not gonna support all boxing. I'm sorry, I'm just not the one to support all boxing, especially when you fraudulent. I'm not supporting you. Keith, you got to fight the biggest name you can fight for me to even support, because I'm not paying for the fight for you. I'm paying for the fight for whoever you fighting, probably. If you fight Earl, I'm not paying for you. I'm paying for Earl. I'm not paying for you. I'm paying for Earl. You just happen to be on that card. You happen to be on the, fighting him. But I'm not paying for some of these fighters. Because all I'm hearing is talking. And again, I bring up the Danny. Danny's, who's he fighting? Who is he fighting? You a king? Oh, you want Earl so bad? Who you fighting to prove that you even want Earl and need Earl? Or that you can even handle Earl? Who you fighting right now? Are you and Crawford? Anybody? You guys fighting anybody right now? Can y'all fight each other for us? Kell Brooks still out there. Fight him. Nobody needs bags no more? I thought the first word in the whole thing when it came to professional fighting, I thought the first word was prize. So don't nobody need prizes no more, right? Well, shit, give me the prize and you just going out there and fight then. Y'all don't nobody need prizes no more? Everybody multi-millionaires now? I mean, like way up there, high multi-millionaires? Y'all don't need bags no more? You don't need to eat no more? You done? You bought all the property and cars and all that. Everything's put away in investments. You don't need to fight no more. Is that's the new story? That's the new story now. Oh, okay. Loma. Oh yeah, he's the greatest. You see his opposition. He fought the greatest fighters. Like I said, this is somebody not even with great skills is going. I'm telling you. Somebody that doesn't even have great skills, but has that heart, has those three things, has that idea that I want to fight, I'm going to war up and get this done, and I'm going to win no matter what. You either kill me or I'll kill you, and that's who's going to smash him. That's who's going to smash his lights out. It don't got nothing to do with no age. He ain't that damn old. George Foreman came back at 45 years old and got a championship. So how long did he sit out and came back? If you're that great and you ain't had no hands put on you, you can fight forever. You can fight as long as you want to. As long as you keep that same skill set and you got the speed and everything else, you can fight forever. Just show us. Convince me. Yeah. Convince me. Stay in there and fight some more fights and convince me, and then I'll crown you myself. I'll go out and get you a damn gold crown. I'll go ahead and break myself. That shit might be having to be a little bit plated though. Not a full crown. I ain't trying to come up with that kind of bread. But yeah, I'll go out there and get you a crown made. If you prove me wrong. Prove me wrong, I'll get you a crown. Same thing, Keith. Come on back. Get you a big knockout with a big name. And not just a name, because I'm not really caring about names. I'm talking about what kind of skill set they had. And here's another thing. It's not just your skill set. It's your skill set during that fight. You understand what I mean? So during that fight, what did the fighter bring during that fight? Was he intact himself? Did he have a bad leg? Did he have bad feet? Was his arm, was his shoulder thrown out? Huh? Now, if you beating up on wounded people that don't fight, because usually, like, especially in the animal kingdom, a wounded animal will kill you. If he's wounded, he will kill you. You got to be in triple beast mode to beat a wounded animal, because now he's in straight up survival mode. And a lot of these fighters don't get there. They don't get in that survival mode. But if you hurt, you got to be in that survival mode. More than just, when I say survive, I'm not just trying to stay alive. But if you come anywhere near me, anytime you come near me, you taking something. You taking something that you don't want to take. Yep. What Joseph Brown say? Keith has the tools to be great, but does he still have the will and the hunger? I'm not convinced. Well, guess what? Shadow 979. I'm in agreement with that, because I'm damn sure not convinced. Jay Brown in there say, show me and I will pay. I will pay to see Wilder. I've done live at the same venue and on TV. Yep. Shit, pay for it to be shown at home, so I can go back home and watch it. Pay for it, and go to the fight, and pay for the replay. Yeah, especially if you're gonna fight another king. And that's why he's fighting. That's why he's fighting Ortiz, because Ortiz a king. But as far as that other little, that 6'9" and all that, yeah. I got me finished. Let me get on that also. As far as that 6'9", the Coke Master. As far as him, I gives two damns if Wilder fight him or not. He don't have to fight that bum. But speaking on just that alone, is that Wilder. All right, main event. I see you up in here. Salute, fam. Yeah. I know. I put that notey up that I wasn't gonna be in, but I made it home just in time, man. I ran straight to the computer, man. I got on, man, because I know everybody wanted to, to make sure I was okay. I'm cool. Everything good. I'm going to have to go out of town to get my physical therapy, but I'm still working on that. You guys know I'm still recovering from this big accident, but I'm still doing everything. I was in a high-speed accident, but I'm still doing everything that I could do. I'm still doing my family events and everything else. So I'm still doing everything, but I still gotta recover and stuff like that. I'm still 100% king though. I'm 100% king of this hurt. Yeah. But Wilder, like I said, Wilder got to get out there, and what Wilder got to do, see, Wilder he got to leave everything behind. Like, there's no excuse. Is Tyson did not have nothing to really bother him like that. He put in his own mind, I'm going to knock this man out. But that man is slippery and tall. So what do you do when somebody's slippery and tall and you're tall too? Because I can't even use the height advantage I can't use that. Because I've seen too many small fighters, and with the two heavyweights that I covered, when I covered both of them Joes, Jersey Joe, and I covered Joe Frazier. Those was both short heavyweights. So we can't use these stories about how somebody's, so much taller and they slick. No, hell no. Because you got those three things that you need. You got that, I'm going to fight, I'm going to go out there and get this done, and no matter, kill or be killed. I got that killer instinct, plus your own skills that you got. You got to bring your skill set. You see what I mean? You can't leave your skill set and worry about somebody else's skill set. Tyson punched like a middleweight or something like that, and you punch like a super heavyweight, and you worried about his, a couple of inches on you. But back to what I was saying. If somebody's fighting slick and tall like that, how do you fight them? Right? You start using your legs, go up and down, right? You start using yourself a full step, half step. We talked about Jersey Joe. Jersey Joe was slick with that little creepy little quarter steps and stuff like that to get in. Now you get in. You got into your range. He ain't doing nothing. He throws a couple, you block him, bam, hit him with a couple. After a while, you start getting them. Hit that body a couple of times. Because with Tyson, what you want to do is you want to just loosen him up. You want to loosen him up and then blast him. All right. Let me get you, Joseph Brown. I know it's not many of y'all talking. So let me get you. The last point about wounded animals made me think about Evander Holyfield. Okay. You had to kill him to beat him in the ring. And in the process, you might meet your demise. There, see? And that's exactly what I'm saying. So, but we're just too like, oh, our champ. F that, man. You are a champ. It's just like me. In my nation, if I have to war up in my nation, then I got to war up in my nation. I can't have no excuses. Then I got to war up. I go out there a lot of times. I'll be ready to war up. When I go out there, I got to war up. That's all. I can't. All the excuses I got, even me going through PT or whatever, I got to leave all that behind. I got to war up. I got to put my stuff on, and I got to go up there and war up. I can't have no excuses. Because I'm the proclaimed king. It didn't come out of my mouth. You understand what I'm saying? It did not come out of my mouth one face, right? One name. That did not come out of my mouth. I didn't say one face, one name in boxing. I didn't say that. So if you're going to say one face, one name, then come show us. And this is no shade, I'm just telling you, this is the way that it is. This is the way that it is. It is this way. It ain't no other way. This is the way it is. It's just that way. You have to come out, and you got to come out and do what you got to do. We can't be waiting for you. You know what I mean? Because what are we going to hear besides excuses? What are we going to hear after you didn't win the fight? Or if it went, what are we going to hear? I should, would, could. That's all we're going to hear. You the professional. You the king. So I can't hear that. You got to go out there and do what you got to do. And just like Miz said, Keith got to go out there and he got to put a hurt on somebody. He going to have to take somebody out. And that's what you got to do. If you're the king, or if you're proclaiming to be king, then you got to go out there and you got to take somebody out. That's what you got to do. There's just no way. There's no way around that. You see what I mean? There's no way around that. You got to go out there and get done. What you want us to do? You want us to jump in the ring and get it done for you? That's like what's that? That what AJ tried to have us to do. He want us to come out and fight. Yep. Joseph Brown said there's too many question marks about a lot of these so-called top fighters because they're not fighting the best to have the questions answered. That's exactly what it go. That's exactly what it is. Is that they not fighting. They not. It's always, you right. There's nothing but question marks all over the place. You can put question marks everywhere. Even if you use those 18 physical traits that I gave you for fighters, you can put question marks all over them. When you watch a fight, you're going to be putting question marks all over the place. You're going to be like, matter of fact, they might not even have those 18 points. You're like, dang, they don't even have these. So he's missing a lot of stuff even for fighting. I mean, how did he get out in the ring to fight? And he's missing a lot of these points when it comes to even having the physical makeup to fight. See? So it's deep, man. We got to look we got to look into it. You see what I mean? That's why I gave you guys those keys, because I want everybody to be educated on it, so that way we have more keys than everybody else got. We already got we got different keys to go through. You know? We let other people do whatever they do, but we got different keys that we can look through. Yep. But you got these so-called, especially that's a joke, man. That Fury, that's a complete joke, and they just letting it parading around right in front of us. And you know what? It's just a terrible thing for me that our champ didn't just go and body this fag like he should have. Because after a few rounds, you already know, wait a minute, I'm not really getting to him this way. And Mark Breland, he fought international too as an amateur, so he knows those different styles. You got to be, see, if I'm in the corner with you, I'm watching what that other fighter doing. I'm not even paying attention to what you're doing as much because I can see that. I'm looking at him to see how you can get, okay, he's doing this a lot. Okay, let's try this on him. I don't give a damn. If we're not getting hurt and we're not losing no rounds, let's try something different every round. Right? I'm not saying just reinvent yourself. You know, I'm not saying reinvent yourself like Sean did. Sean came out and you're like, what the hell is you doing? Where's the Mauler Brawler? How do you know Sean had a twin? So Sean is the Mauler Brawler, but he wouldn't let his twin fight this fight. Yeah. My treasure, I see you right there. Ivory. Good afternoon, King. Yeah. We out here. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of my people come in, they be at work. I'm their entertainment for work. Everybody, yeah, Ivy, I think Ivy's still at work. Yeah, you guys at work. Yeah, guess what? I've been off for a little bit. I gotta get my butt back to work. But I've been doing family things. You guys check out my Many Kind Hearts because I do got some clear stuff up now. It's some short, but you'll be able to see, you'll be able to see the dancers real good. I might have got one or two of the vendors and stuff out there with some good information on it. That you could, if you like anything that they got there, you'll be able to contact them. And I'm sorry about the big video, but I had all my stuff is just going crazy. All of my electronic devices were just shutting down on me, just going nuts. You know what I mean? But we'll get back at it. I'll make sure maybe I'll bring a fourth or fifth device with me next time to make sure I don't lose everything. And yeah, we'll get it. I'll get some better footage. That's probably one of the last big ones for the year. One of the last big ones. Yeah, but they gotta stop this trying to, tricking us, this throwing stuff at us. But like I said, man, that little Lomachenko, I mean, he finally gonna come out, let the words come out of it, he gonna let the words come out of his mouth. Finally, gonna let the words come out of his mouth. See, he was okay with me a little bit. I never liked him, but now he was a little bit he was a little bit humble at first, remember? And we can still kind of deal with his taste in our mouth a little bit. But now that he didn't open his mouth up, now I'm through with him now completely. I already didn't like him, but now I'm really through with him because he's sitting there because he's actually running his mouth. Because first you wasn't running your mouth, but now all of a sudden now you're gonna open your mouth and try to proclaim that you the greatest, you a king now. You ain't no king. You still a jester. You're not a king. Beat somebody impressively, knock somebody completely out that's worthy of being knocked out. Somebody that didn't move up 2 weight division. Somebody who fought more than out of 2 fighters and fought more than 10 rounds between both of them in 4 years or whatever. Yeah, fight somebody to show us that, hey, I'm the champ. I am a king. Don't y'all believe I'm a king? Because you can hype people up like that sometime. It's just like it was there's a story about this guy that was who had got hyped up, and this is somewhere off in a far off land. I'll put it this is a lead story right here. Anyway, so this guy gets all hyped up, and there was a guy that he kind of looked like me. This guy got all hyped up, and so he was convinced that he could just take this guy out that looked like, kind of looked like me. He was kind of, they hyped him up like that. Like, oh, yeah. He pumped him up. Yeah. I can get it. I can get it done. I can do that. Yeah. No problem. No sweat. And so he made that move, and he challenged that guy that kind of looked like me. And for some reason, he ended up off the ground, and he was hanging by his neck on that guy's forearm. And he came back to reality. See? And that's what needs to happen when it comes to Loma and a lot of these other guys that come in here trying to fight, is they need to get that kind of that choke out reality check is what they need to get. Because this ride that they got us on, it's not a wonderful ride. I don't like it. And I'm not gonna grow to like these scenarios and stuff and then for them to just throw us these bones without even, and then they're not even giving us, we have zero opportunity to say anything about it. They just throw it to us, and then we're supposed to deal with it. But see, the old media, the way they want us to deal with it is they want us to accept it, and they want us to repeat the narrative and to accept the narrative. But this is new media, and this is LDBC. We're not gonna sit there and just accept all your little narratives and stuff. At least I know I'm not gonna sit there and just accept you just throwing anybody that you want to, because you pumped them up for so long, and all of a sudden now they're gonna pump themselves up also to just force feed us as, oh, that's our new king. No, that'll never be my new king. I don't care to be honest, I don't care what he do. He's not going to be my king. You know what I mean? He's not going to be my king. And our king, like I say, his next fight, our king just got to step up and do the king-like things like he did to Brazil. He got to catch one of these guys and knock their whole bone structure out of their skin, or crack their whole bone structure underneath their skin, whatever it is, and let us know, hey, that's our king. That's what our king does. You see what a king does? That's what our king does, because that's what he brings to the table. He brings that kind of power to the table. You see? Yep. Yeah. Okay, I missed what you said, Joe, so let me get back up here. He said, we as fans need to stop comparing eras, especially when this era ain't fighting the best to make the fighters comparable to the past. Yeah. He says asinine. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna tell you what, Jay Brown, they gonna keep doing that. But with me, in Eagles Web chat, you're not gonna have no leg to stand on. I'm sorry, you're just not gonna have no leg to stand on, because the whole thing is that you're dealing with all kinds of other things along with the boxing. You're dealing with all these performance enhancing materials, not just the drugs, but formulas or whatever else. I see people with them all damn day long, all these different formulas for when they work out. I just look at them like, damn, you need to do all that? I'm like, how am I hanging with y'all and I'm not even doing all these extra performance enhancing materials and drugs and supplements and all this crap? You just wait. And believe me, folks out there, if you ever looked in the aisle, go to the nutrition store and look in the aisle, look in that athletic aisle and see how much that shit costs. And then tell me that it's not in the realm of drug prices. Just look at what it costs. Look at what your plain little generic vitamins cost, or whatever, the stuff that you take, your little supplements, and then go in that aisle, that athletic aisle, and look at how much their shit costs. And y'all says, oh, now they'll have it marked down. Just look how much it costs. And they spend all that money, hundreds and hundreds, and some of them spend $1,000s a month for a little bit of an edge. You see what I mean? So they gotta, you're right. They gotta stop that, because it actually puts them both at a disadvantage. It puts the older fighters at a disadvantage because of the use of all these unnatural things, and it puts the up and coming fighters, or the younger group of fighters, at a disadvantage because they're not fighting. They're not fighting any beast. They're trying to protect the O's and all that. They're worried about bags. They're not worried about like going out there and show, hey, I'm the king. A lot of mouth service about being the king. And then again, I've been watching fighters. I respect them. Now you fall in, like Jamal fell, right? Was it Jamal or Jamel fell? Fell down one. Jamal, right? Okay, so Jamal falls one level. but he's still up there. But he's still voicing his opinion about being a king. And he's not trying to drop down and fight somebody who's not up there. He still got to fight Harrison, but I'm saying that at least he's still keeping everything on that level. You see what I mean? That kingdom level. They're still keeping it on that kingdom level. Whereas you got fighters that's claiming to be kings and they're not keeping stuff on that kingdom level. You got to keep it on that level if you're going to convince us. If you're going to convince us, then keep it on that level. Yeah. Because even going back to what Jay Brown was saying, that whole comparison stuff, leave those old greats alone. Leave those old greats alone. Especially if you don't even have the movement they have, you're not fighting the kind of people that they fought. And believe me, your brain don't get no stronger. The outside of your skull, the only time your skull gets, I got a double thick skull because I cracked it a couple of times when I was little. But that's different. Everybody's not unfortunate enough or fortunate enough to crack their skull as many times as I did. And that's because I was just rough. I was just rough. I was just a rough, crazy ass little kid that just did anything. I'll do anything. I'm telling you. I'll just do anything. I'm still here, but I'll do anything. I bet you won't jump off that. Yeah, we'll jump off of it. I'll do anything. I was a little nutcase. Yep. So I had to crack my skull a few times. But yeah, the skull is not thicker. And these fighters is just like I said, it's just like what Jay Brown was saying. It's just not it's not ever gonna be a fair assessment. I'm gonna make the analogies. I'm still gonna come up with them. The reason I'm gonna do it is only because the narrative of or actually people's mouth. Because I did have one, and you guys, if you was in my chat that night, Jamel, yeah. I don't know, I said it Jamal, but yeah, Jamel, yeah. Because I know Jamal just fought, yeah. But sometimes I mix their names up. It's just one letter, the A and the L, yeah. But yeah, I'll bring up these points about certain fighters, and the reason I had to bring that up is because one of my guys got in here one day and he was I don't know, for some reason he wanted to have it out with me, and I had to explain it to him. Even though he put the fighter that I was saying was the best, he put him back like further than what the fighter really was Sugar Ray Robinson. He was putting him back in the 40s, that he was his best in the 40s. No, he wasn't his best in just the 40s. Shit, he was his best in the 50s. Yeah, he fought into the 60s. He was great. And the thing is, see, the reason you can't argue about that point is because Sugar Ray Robinson didn't like fighting, didn't want to fight. And that sounds familiar. A lot of people who don't want to fight and who fight end up being the best. They end up being our kings. Deontay Wilder, right? He didn't start off fighting, right? And he had that basketball frame, you know what I mean? I only think he was 200 pounds when he first started fighting. When he first came into the gym. Yeah. Okay, Jay Brown. Yeah, you're right. No. Yeah, they just don't have it. You're right. They don't have it. They don't have it. It wasn't gifted to them. For some reason, something passed. I don't know if their family broke up or whatever it was, that they didn't see some warrior in their family, and they couldn't take that from their dad or their uncle or their grandpa. They just couldn't take it with them. They just don't, that mentality they just don't have. You see what I mean? They don't have that mentality, and they need to have that mentality, because if you don't have that mentality, you can't compare yourself. Stop comparing yourself when you don't have the mentality. And guess who else didn't have it? MTM didn't have it once he changed. When he was at a lighter weight, he had it. And we know the reason he did have it, because he grew up with he had 2-3 uncles that fought, and he had his dad that fought. So he watched the warriors in his family, because when he started off, he had it. But then when he started getting money, then it was over with. Now it was all about protection. It was all about, like, I'm going to shell up, make you miss, and then I'm going to crack you. It was all about that. But if you look at some of his earlier fights, he was vicious, man. He'll put you out. And the great that we just lost, Pernell Whitaker, Sweet Pea Whitaker, he was like that. When he was at lighter weight, he was a monster. Then he moved up. His offensive and defensive skills just got so great that he didn't have to take. He really wasn't taking any. He wasn't taking any punishment, but he was just dishing out. He was just dishing out, just picking people apart. Even if he didn't put you out, I mean, you were never the same. I guarantee you, a lot of people think that he didn't hit hard and all that. Believe me, he hit hard to the body. He hit real hard to the body. It's just that them fighters back, even at his era, they just wouldn't quit. But I guarantee you, they weren't the same afterwards, though. I guarantee you they were not the same. Because there's something about somebody hitting you in your liver and kidneys and stuff that changes your physicality of your body. Guaranteed you that they were not the same. But we're not watching. It's only so many fighters that we're watching that's doing that now. And I'm not talking about doing it and just moving and running and getting caught clipped every once in a while. Like I say, Earl does that. And Earl got that kind of crazy in him. He got that calm crazy, which is the most dangerous kind of crazy. Because he got that kind of spirit that, oh yeah, we can do this all day. That's the kind of spirit he got. Until somebody break, yeah, we can do this all day. I'm just going to see how much punishment you can take. Damn. I'm going to see how much punishment you're going to take. Now, you might not have heard those words from him, but believe me, that body language says that. That I'm going to put so much punishment on you, and we're just going to see how long you can, we're going to see how much you can take. Yeah, main event Mark, yeah, he said Sweet Pea had decent power for a lower weight. Yeah. Yeah, but believe me, for a lightweight, yeah, he had a lot of power. Believe me, he had a lot. You just have to study some of the punches that he threw and that people actually survived that they probably shouldn't have survived. And also, just check out the interview with Buddy McGirt. And Buddy McGirt talked about it. And I love Buddy McGirt's style far as like he's very hard to hit. But Pete was putting hands on him. But to listen to his interview, he talks about it. And he says that a lot of people don't know. He said one thing that Sweet Pea had, he said he had body shots that you wouldn't believe. He said they just did something to you. Like they changed you up. Once he hit you to the body, it would change you up. Look at the Chavez fight too. Julio Cesar Chavez. Look at that fight. If you can find some old footage of his fight with Sweet Pea Whitaker. Look at some of the punches he got hit with. And he was contemplating going down a couple of times, believe me. He was definitely contemplating going down. He has some power. And it's because his feet, man. He had good feet and he was fast. That's where that power came from. He had good legs and his upper body wasn't big, but that lower body and just that the way he could turn quick enough and snap that punch, believe me. That's power. Because some people have different kind of power. Some people just have a raw, all-out, this monster type of power, and some people have like a quick, like an Ali type of power. Ali had he had a martial arts type of power, and plus he had a boxing power. But a lot of that power came from speed. But if he ever sat down, if he ever had to sit down, he would hurt you bad. If he ever had to if he was ever flat-footed with you, if he was flat-footed with you hitting you're getting hurt. There was no way around getting hurt. But these fighters, like I said, these fighters today, they trying to claim and they're trying to fool us. And I'm glad that the majority of y'all that mess with me in here, that y'all not getting fooled by them, trying to make up these stories about how great they are and all that. We're not gonna just fall for some story that you saying you great, because we got to start looking at the fighter that you fought. We got to start looking at their skills. Don, I see you, sir. Eagles wear boxes. He said, yeah. But we got to start looking at, the fighters that you fought, what they brought to the table. We're not looking at enough stuff. All we're looking at is like a lot of people. And Tyson is undermining everybody. If you think about Tyson Fury, he's undermining everybody with this shit that he's pulling. If nobody knows what I'm talking about, I know a few of you know exactly what I'm talking about. Is that he's pulling this this record thing because everybody relies on that box rec, right? And just like I was explaining, box rec, that all the information in there is not accurate. They might be accurate with records and stuff like that, but a lot of stuff that they're not sharing, and which none of those things are complete. Those records and box recs and all that stuff, none of that stuff is complete. And the reason it's not complete is because they're just talking about records. You see, they don't have the notation that they need to have in there. They need to have the information from previous fights from the other fighter, and they need to have round information in there. How rounds were scored and how the fighter was doing that round, inside and outside. You see what I mean? But that's what we're gonna do. See, when we look at fights now, we got all these keys now, so we'll be able to look and we'll be able to see things that we didn't look at before. And so when we're registering our scores, then we have a lot more stuff to look at. And see, that's why when I was breaking down the Yarde, Yarde was easy because he was missing. It was too many things that he was missing during that fight. And that's how the experience of Kovalev was able to take over in that fight. Which my hat goes off to him for even taking that fight. But like I said, you have to look at that whole skill set, and then that mental makeup, and then we got to go. I might do a thing that when we have these controversies or something like that, or somebody start running their mouth, maybe I need to start a new series or something. I'll do videos. We'll do videos on who he beat though. We'll just call it who he beat though. Yeah, who he beat. Yeah, and then put up the record of who the person beat, who the fighter beat, especially if they didn't really do nothing to impress us, because they not really doing as much as they could do for us though. Because I want bang for my buck. If we're gonna spend money on you, then you're gonna have to come out. You're gonna have to come out off that shelf and be the king that you say you are. And I know a lot of people might think I'm a little hard on, but that's one of my favorite fighters is Deontay Wilder. I'm a little bit hard on him, but it's not my job, champ, to go in there and fight. Your job was not to be over desperate. You had 12 rounds to figure that out. Like, okay, I can't be over desperate. Because remember the older fighters. Because what the older fighters would do is the older fighters would figure stuff out during the rounds. And that's not all fighters too. See, we're talking about the fighters, but that's not all fighters if we think about it. You see what I mean? Some of that has to fall back on that corner, that second, that has to fall back on them. You have to actually remind your fighter what he's doing and what he's not doing. You have to be the one that reminds him of that. Right? So we have to remind. So if you're not going to remind them and you're going to just let them just go out there and do whatever they do, then you're not much of a corner. Right? And then it's not going to be much of a fight. Your fighter's going to lose. Now, when we was in the chat, I think it was my last chat, or it might have been another chat, that somebody was mentioning that Yarde, that his corner wasn't very good. Well, see, that's the end of the story right there. You see what I mean? Because if your corner is not good, that's the story. There's nothing that your corner is going to do. And most time you think about it. Do you have more than just your trainer in the corner? You have a couple of trainers, right? And they supposed to have different positions. They all can't say the same exact thing. You got one to speak, and guess what? When they do their huddle, they're supposed to do their huddle while you're out there fighting. Then those three corner people get together. You see what I mean? And then the one person speaks on it. See? The one person speaks on it. But if you got 3 or 4 people in the corner and nobody's saying nothing, just go out there and do what you're doing. You can only tell somebody to do what you're doing if they're winning. Don't tell somebody to do what they're doing if they're getting mopped. Cover up, man. Tighten up your defense. Get down lower, man. Throw some looping hooks at him. Do something. You know what I'm saying? I got a mouthpiece, so I'll be quick in the corner. I said, yeah, he's coming over top a little bit. So what you want to do, you want to let's try to get inside of that so he can't come over top. Let's go underneath that and let's work off some angles and stuff. Other than that, you're doing good. We just go round. Let's go round by round. You good. You're looking good in the fight. See, them corners, they get all hysterical. Oh, you could do it. You trained for this. You in shape. Man, what kind of corner advice is that? You in shape for this. You doing the best. You doing good in this round. You doing good. We're in the fight. You could do it. And your fighter already took 2 knockdowns. And you saying stuff like that to him. Man, come on. Get out of here with that. It's not no kind of damn corner advice. But Don Dada said, he said, I now watch who calmed down before fight. He said, Andrew was cool before AJ fight. Yeah, he said, Andrew. Yeah, you say he was cool before the fight, huh? Yeah. That's how you gotta do too, though. You gotta watch who's calm. He's right. Now that's a good point too, though. Because like I told you, Earl Spence is crazy, but Earl Spence is a different kind of crazy. Earl Spence be calm. He's like calm. That's too much calm before the storm. So he gonna come over and calmly whoop your ass. I'm telling you right now that he got that kind of crazy that you don't want to be around. That little smile and stuff. Don't fall for that smile, man. Earl is out of his damn mind. But we're gonna see. We got less than a month now. Or where we at? We're exactly at 30 days. We're exactly at 30 days. It's gonna go down. Yep. Dada said, he said Manny Pacman was calm. He said fighting with Keith Thurman, talking before the fight. He got shades on. He said Pac-Man laughing now. Yeah, he laughing. Yeah, he laughing out loud now. You got that right. And he was calm before the fight. And the reason you could be calm like that, if you got somebody's what they call number. If you're not really worried about them, then yeah, you can be calm. I don't need to get excited about you. Why I need to get excited about you? Because I know all yours was just hype. See? And then I'll go back to what Miz was saying. Miz Boxing was saying, hey, you can't be on king status. And see, I like that because this is a woman talking. And she's saying, you can't be our king. You can't be my king no more. And yes, you got to really go out there and you got to really pull off a king move. You got to take Earl out. It's the only way you can do it. You can't be on a king move. She hard, though. I like her, though. Miss Boxing be hard on you, though. She don't play. She be hard on you. She's like, yeah, you got to do this. You got to do that. Ain't no way around this. She always got hard points. I like that because she don't go soft on nobody. Oh, well, this happened and that. Oh, hell to the no. We not going with them excuses. Somebody always trying to blow up my phone when I'm in here. But yeah, we're not going, like I said, we're not going for those no more. We're not going for those kind of, no more excuses for these fighters. They're supposed to be, their pockets is too fat with our money for them to just do anything that they want to do. Lackluster performances and stuff. The only person we really expect that out of, and I'm not throwing him underneath the bus, and you guys already know who that is. That's AB. But the one thing about AB, at least he's not just going out, and he's not quitting. He might be under some. He might be delusional about his defense and about how many punches he's throwing, but ain't nobody taking him out. I mean, we can use him to gauge where somebody's at a little bit. That kind of works. It don't work all the way though, because just for what Mikey did, a lot of people might have thought that Mikey was going to do better against Earl. But I knew Earl was gonna beat Mikey up. I was just thinking to myself, I said Earl gonna beat Mikey up. And sure enough, he just beat him up. I mean, everybody's hoping for a knockout, but yeah, he just beat him up. So that's a king right there, though. So we're gonna look at him as being that's a king. Earl Spencer's a king. Wilder's a king. Wilder's gotta get back in there and do what he gotta do. Loma is a fraudulent king. I don't know until somebody can give me some type of evidence to convince me. Not just convince me. You got to convince my partner now, Miss Boxing. You got to convince her too, not just me. And you got to convince Ivy. My two queens in here. You got to convince them that Loma's really worth being called a king. If you guys can't do that, then definitely get my X on the X Factor game. You definitely, I'm awarding you an X right off top. So you get the X from me, and you probably get the X from them too. But you got to convince me on him because he's definitely got to fight somebody with a different status and has to look impressive doing it, and stop beating up on these guys that were 20 pounds lighter than you. And then a lot of people complaining, talking about Earl's a weight bully. No, Loma's a weight bully. Has anybody ever said that to you yet? That Loma's a weight bully? Yeah, he's the weight bully. Okay. Here we go. Joseph Brown said Chief Second can make or break a fighter in between rounds. Just okay. Look, Anthony Joshua and Anthony Yard. Yep. And that's, listen to what he just said though. You know what's ironic about that? It's just it's kind of funny. It's just coincidental that they both happen to be Anthony's. So what is this? This is a Kill Tony Day, right? And that's a shame when you can't go to your corner, because you're supposed to have all the confidence in your corner because you're beefing them up before you even get into a fight. Then you get into a fight and then this kind of stuff happens. You don't even have a corner. Oh, just keep doing what you're doing out there. You're doing good. You're looking good. Don't worry. He's getting tired. Why are you worried about if he's getting tired? How about let's get him more tired? How about that? But as we know, Jay Brown did. Chief Second is nothing like it used to be though. Because Chief Second used to be. Remember I told you guys this. Chief Second used to be able. They had to get you ready within 2 minutes and get you back out there. There was no protection from them. And see now, but that's kind of cold because they're doing the same thing, but they're doing it on a different level. Now they're just letting you go back out there. They're not even trying to get you ready now. That's even more brutal. They used to throw you back in the ring, but now they're just asking you to go back if you still want to fight. Or you still want to go back out there and get it. You're doing okay. We trained for this. We can go 12 rounds. But why would you be saying that you can go 12 rounds, but you ain't mentioned nothing about winning no 12 rounds? We in shape. You know, I don't like hearing that somebody's in shape. I don't want to hear that. Because all fighters are supposed to be in shape. There shouldn't even be a story about somebody not being in shape. Or you running out of gas or something. What the hell you mean you running out of gas? You didn't tell me that before I paid my $150 to watch your ass. And now you sitting there running out of gas. I could have kept my $150, my $200, my $500. I could have just kept that if you was going to go out there and just run out of gas like that. No, we got to stop that though. There's no more running out of gas and nothing like that. And like I said, y'all start being hard on them. I don't care. Whatever room you go to a different chat room or whatever. You just got to be harder on those fighters and just say what you really feel. Because we watching y'all fight. You in the fight game, damn it. If you in the fight game, damn it, go out there and do what you're supposed to do. Go out there and fight. Entertain us at the same time, but fight. Be in shape. Be ready to fight every round, no matter what. Every round ain't going to go exactly the same. It's not choreographed. Do something to make the other fighter think. If you guys remember when Ward fought Kovalev the second time, he came out and threw a bomb. Like, as soon as they started fighting, he just came over and threw an overhand right away and caught him. See, sometimes you got to mix it up and change it. Don't just come out just doing something. Just come out, just do something, make that other fighter think that, oh shit, Make him have doubt. Like, I don't know what he might do right now. Yeah, I don't want you to know what I'm going to do. I want you to think that I'm going to do everything that I can do to win. I don't want you ever thinking that you have a chance in this fight. And that's the way you got to go out there and fight. You got to go out there, make another fighter know that he's in trouble. You know, these fighters aren't doing that. They go out there and we looking at them like, yo, you in trouble. First round, like Keith Thurman. We knew it was over with as soon as that first round, before the first round was over. As soon as we seen him go down and hit his ass on the canvas, we knew it was over with. Because I didn't have confidence in his corner, and I didn't have confidence in him. Now, if I had confidence in his corner, I said, okay, it's gonna be tight. He's gonna tighten up and shit, but he didn't tighten nothing up. Didn't tighten nothing up. Didn't do enough to go out there and get that W. Like your mouth, you did nothing but gave us mouth service. Broner didn't even go down. And Horn won. And like I said, we don't need to talk triangle, but look, it is what it is. You think they had a better skill set than Keith? At least Keith is talking about a skill set. He just gonna make us know that he got a skill set. Oh, I got this skill set. Oh, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. You ain't doing nothing. But anyway, like the main thing that I wanted to get across is Loma is not king, and we could debate on it and we can fight about it, and I would love to. Anytime anybody wants to, okay, we can debate about why you think Loma is king and he has the right to call himself king now. Got the right to call himself great. And that's exactly right, E. Wood. He said, like Earl fought Mikey, he discouraged Garcia. That's exactly what you got. That's what you now you starting to see the puzzle pieces in everything becomes clearer and clearer in Eagles Web chat. Everything becomes clearer and clearer because you guys start coming up with stuff on your own. I don't even have to say it no more. And that's why E. Wood just came up with it right away. He just, okay, yeah, that's what you got to do. Because he heard something that I said that made sense, and he just took it his own way and just said, okay, that's right. That's right. Earl fought Mikey, and he discouraged Mike. And he discouraged him. See? And that's what we need our kings to do, because you're supposed to be discouraged when you're fighting a king. Right? Okay, I ran a little long. I appreciate everybody who came through to check out the Eagles Web Boxing. You know, you smash that like. If anybody's on the wall that's watching and enjoyed anything that I talked about today, you know, you're welcome to subscribe to me. And then you can hit them little bracket, hit that bell. With the brackets around it, you get notified when I come on. I wasn't supposed to be on for the next couple of days. I'm going to try to come back again tomorrow. And I'll be here Friday. But I'm going to try my best to come back tomorrow to be with you guys. And we're going to talk this boxing again tomorrow. You know, hopefully if I can get out, because I got to go out of town again. I'll be rushing back again. But I appreciate you guys' time to come through and see me. Shout out to the LDBC. And a shout out to all y'all that mess with me. And tell another one, peace.